Hi, this is Brian from Play to Level 10, and today I'll be playing a game by a company called gpotato called Fly for Fun. Um, Realistically, this is a game that it's a free-to-play game. The constant thing with the gpotato series and a lot of these Asian games is that they have a fascination for pay for items in game, which kind of ruins the economy. However, I'll put that to the side for the end. The game is based in a typical fantasy land. You attack quite an interesting couple of enemies at the beginning of the game, leading up to level 10. Not a whole lot, which kind of is my main complaint, but that's just kind of how these games play. The questing system, while I'm running into this really fast, is gone. The actual aspect of the game that was there when I used to play this years ago actually is gone. A lot of the repeatable quests for when you're a low level have been gotten rid of. The actual amount of money you used to be able to collect at the beginning of the game is gone. Um, the overall controls aren't that bad, really. The It's pretty much point and click, but the point and click you might as well just put it in the control panel and just use your keyboard sometimes because it's so much easier. The pickup option's kind of annoying, but it's overlookable. You you when you're listening to this game, there's a lot of kind of childish music, but it goes with the game. The characters are all kind of really childish characters, but that's because of the lack of customization. You have to pay absurd amounts of money to actually customize your character in this game. It's not suggested at the beginning to have a customized character. You essentially are stuck with one one overall person, and that's actually kind of a problem because everybody looks the same. I mean, you can go into just about any MMO and say that yeah, all the characters look the same. Yeah, but I mean, you only get about 20 options, both male and female together. You're not allowed to color your hair. You're not allowed to really choose anything. The only way you do that is if you pay, I think it's like a 2 million um, in-game money to actually customize, which is a little excessive, especially for people like me that love customization. Um, as I said, the quest system has been yanked out. There's a couple quests, but they're kind of tedious. The whole thing is a grind system, which isn't that bad for me. But as a whole, it's kind of dropped from where it used to be. There are people that are dedicated to this game, and I probably am not doing it justice because I've never gotten anywhere above level 20. Because this game is titled Fly for Fun. And once I got my broom and my board, because some guy dumped all his money on me, luckily, while I was playing it years ago, I got my board and I started flying around. I got to Darkon and I flew around Darkon, and the environments are cool, but after a while, all the enemies repeat. There's no sense of me playing after a while. It kind of has a low replay value after you get to a certain level. It's just a constant grind. If you know people that love to grind like me, they'll love it, but it gets very annoying because the experience tables are so low after about level 10. Leading up to level 10, they're pretty balanced, but getting from 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 are quite a drag actually. The drops are quite frequent. The rare items that you collect as a low level actually are weirdly used as a high level incentive program for guilds and or clans, whichever you want to call them. But it's kind of an incentive system for guilds. However, close that. The the overall usage for them is basically to screw up the economy. And like I said, as I'll bring up now, these games, these Korean and Asian games, this game being a Korean game, if I'm correct, I may be wrong. Please note below in the comment section if you know. Um, the game basically it goes by this pay to play for certain items system, not a pay to play completely. It's basically if you want anything that looks cool or you want something that, is only purchasable by real money, you're pretty much screwed unless you have a lot of in-game money. And the best way to get in-game money is to buy stuff and sell it in-game. So basically, there is no economy. It's basically who has the most amount of money out of game sometimes. Unless you get lucky, like I did on my one account, where I actually was given money right off the bat. And thankfully, I know a friend that his brother has given me money to help me out with my character, and he has buffed me numerous times. His friends have buffed me and helped me got to level 10 probably about an hour or so, an hour or two took me to get to level 10. Meanwhile, it took me about almost 3 hours just running around doing quests, the single quests you'll get at a time sometimes. The tutorial is kind of annoying. It pops up at the beginning of the game. If anyone cared to know about the tutorial, it's like a typical tutorial, but you just stand there at first. You basically have to go through all these things to actually unlock your beginner quest, which gives you free equipment, which is nice. But otherwise, you're screwed because if you don't go through the tutorial, you don't access that quest, which is quite a fluke of this game. Other than the repetitive monsters, these guys, as you might see in my review above, and I just selected one. These Violent Magician Troupe, as you get higher, they actually become aggressive to you, or I'm not sure if they still do, but they're quite a pain in the butt when you're a higher level. Right now, I'm pretty much just running around. The world is huge. I admit that. It's a big world. The flight time isn't though, because of the fact that you can fly pretty darn fast once you get a higher level brooms. There's really no leveling burden for faster brooms, which is cool. And if you pay and ruin the economy of this game, like a bunch of people, you can actually get customizable ones like um, Aladdin-styled carpets, and then Christmas ones for sleighs with reindeer. I mean, it's really cool what they've actually put in the game. It's just the amount of content that's purchasable compared to in-game is equal, which is never a good thing because you screw up the fact that this is a game. And if you forget that this is a game, I mean, why are you playing it? But there are people that are dedicated, and I admit that that's kind of hard for me on this game because the leveling system does become a constant grind of like no XP per kill unless you're buffed. So overall, I'd say this game's about a 4. I was gonna say 3 in my review, but I'm gonna say this game's a 4 out of 10 because the fact that all the quests are gone except for maybe the high B quest, but low Bs were screwed. The sounds are, yeah, they're actually pretty good, but they get repetitive and they cut out in between areas, especially going into town. So good luck with that for sounds. So that loses some points. Tutorial kind of loses some points for it, or some bits of points here and there, and the overall pay for content is kind of annoying. Not that you have to pay to play the game, it's you have to pay to obtain special items. And items aren't all that frequent in this game as it is. The drops are high, but you'll always get the same couple items all the time. You'll end up filling your inventory full of annoying items that you'll never use, that you'll just sell for ridiculous amounts of money, which is not bad, but overall, I give this game a 4 out of 10. I really can't give it a higher because it's not an average game. It's really disappointing for the first 10 levels. So, for Brian from Play Level 10, signing off.